Hi, Babette.
Hi, Nina.
How are you?
Getting with you.
I'm good, thanks. It's so nice to see you. Thanks for chatting to me.
Thanks so much for getting in touch with us.
It's a pleasure. So, before we get into it, will you please tell everyone a little bit more about Babette, about who you are, and then about your brand and your business?
Okay, my name is Babette, and I am a shoemaker. I've been making shoes for 11 years now.
Oh, wow.
We are based in Pretoria, and we currently have two brands. Our ladies' Bach brand, which I'll show you just now, and the Bell Morgan brand, which is our men's brand, both of which we sell at the Linden Market. So we typically use leather on both these brands, but we do make shoes out of other materials as well. We're a small factory just outside Pretoria that employs 6 people, mostly single parents. That's our business.
Oh, wow. So, you're out, obviously without the markets now, you can't sell at markets. But how else has the lockdown impacted your business?
Well, we've obviously had to shut down production for the last. I don't even, I think I stopped counting a while ago. So we've had the factories being closed. April would have been our most successful month in terms of the markets that we do and the shows that we do. Oh, sorry, I lost you there. So all of those were cancelled, which has put quite a lot of stress on us. Luckily, we did manage to get through April without losing any of our staff, which is the biggest blessing for me. And under the new section or lockdown level 4, we are allowed to return back to work at 25% as an essential service making footwear. So we haven't come back into the factory yet, but from next week we're going to have one member of staff in per day, and then we're going to alternate days between staff that are local. We do have staff that went home to other provinces that won't be able to come back, but we're hoping that just with that bare minimum production that we will be able to ride this tide for at least a couple of months. That's what we're looking at now. We also luckily have a lot of stock from the shows that we were planning for April. So we've got loads of stock.
Yay! So you can sell and deliver.
We can sell and deliver. So our deliveries start again today. Our first package has been delivered. So grateful for that. That's been such a blessing just to have that know that we can deliver safely, hygienically, without our staff having to come in and then potentially carry our business through this really tough time without compromising anyone's health or safety.
So obviously, like you said, you still have stock from before, and now you're going to start bringing your staff in, slowly. But was there any other changes that you made regarding your business?
We saw the writing on the wall quite early on, and we put in quite a few health measures in terms of the factory, the way we pack stuff and the way we were distributing stuff even before lockdown. So I'm quite assured that our factory setting is hygienic enough to return under the lockdown rules. But in terms of what we've been looking at during lockdown, our whole business has changed. There's definitely, we're going to have to think quite differently about how we do business in the future. But we're seeing it as an exciting challenge, and we're prepared for it, I think.
And have you had any epiphanies yet of the way forward, or are you still working on it, or don't you want to share your secrets?
No, I definitely, it's epiphanies have happened, which is I'm so grateful for. I sat back during this lockdown and I thought, what is it that I'm actually doing, and am I following my childhood dream? Which I realized I might not quite be doing.
Really?
Although I'm making shoes, yeah. Although I'm making shoes, I'm not really making the type of shoes that I want. So it's to dig deeper into my creative self, and to produce something that's more authentically me. Because I mean everything's gone up in smoke, so we might as well now
Start
start from the
over.
ground up.
But I'm just
And
interested because,
start.
sorry, Beth, because I've known you for ages, so I've seen your shoemaking evolve. You first started with boots, and then and flip flops, and now you're more into the leather stuff. What is it that your dream is to make?
It's always been high fashion, beautiful couture type of shoes.
Oh wow.
So, and I think there was always this thing in me that was like, somehow it wasn't African enough, or it wasn't for this continent. And realizing that as the world gets smaller, we've had so many factories and designers and machinists from Italy and Spain reach out to us in their desperation, expanding their businesses in any way that they can, and going, wow, if that's what they're doing, then we should be digging deeper as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, what is the one thing that you miss from before lockdown?
Hugs. I really just miss giving people hugs. A lot of you guys will know Phil, my husband. He's often at the markets with me, and it's Bell Morgan is his brand. He's also a pilot, and he's been based in West Africa throughout the lockdown, and he will be there for a couple more months. So I haven't actually had physical human contact, which has been quite crazy. The poor dog is getting way too many hugs. Yeah, so I miss hugs. I miss my clients. I miss just chatting to people. But at the same time, I'm being really positive about that, and I'm not good with technology. I mean, you saw how long it took to get this call going, and it'll probably cut out before we finish. But realizing that at least every day we do use technology and we do connect to people. I mean, whether it's my mom who's in the bush, whether it's Phil that's in West Africa. And I think my approach to deal with that part that I'm missing and my clients that I'm missing is to connect with them the same way I would connect to my family. So I've made my WhatsApp and my WhatsApp call and my WhatsApp video call way more open to my clients, to say, like, there's actually a person here. I'm happy to just chat to you about the shoes. I mean, if you want to see the shoe, like, I'll turn it over. I mean, I'm doing nothing. Let me show you what it looks like. And that's been really
almost
fun.
bringing a personal element to it, eh?
Yeah. And that's been quite fun, actually. I've enjoyed just having chats to clients. Like, it's not really about the sale. It's also just about sharing my product and getting to know who it is that's interested in our brands.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I hope you don't mind, because I didn't tell you that I'm going to ask you this question, but after our chat yesterday, you were so inspiring. And the reason why I'm asking this is because I know so many pregnant women during this time, or women that have had babies. So you are due sometime in September, right?
End of August.
End of August.
Yeah.
So just share your thoughts that you did with me yesterday, about being pregnant during this time.
Oh, I can't even remember what I said to you, Nins. The pregnancy brain has gotten to me. I think, do you want to refresh my memory a little bit of what I said
Yeah,
to you?
no, you just said how this time, how you and your Phil spoke, and how this time is kind of, bringing us back to basics, and everything is going to change. Our lifestyles are going to change, but you're going to make it work for you.
Yeah. And that's Phil and I's mindset on a daily basis anyway. We do believe in being the type of people that face challenges head on and find solutions. And I actually did ask him, had we known that there was going to be a pandemic, would we still have gone through this journey of pregnancy, or would we have delayed it? And he looked at me through WhatsApp, and he was like, of course we would have gone through this. I mean, this was our plan. You can do it safely, and you can do this, and it's going to be fine. And it's to realize that everything has changed. The world is not going to be the same place. Hopefully for the better. There will be hard times, but hopefully for the better. But to realize that by bringing this little person into the world, there is positivity, and there is something to look forward to, and there's something to work for. So no, it wouldn't have changed our plans, and super excited to meet her.
Yeah.
I was hiding the bump, but it's very much there. Yeah, I think it's terrifying for anyone who is pregnant right now. But it's to be practical, to be logical, not to unnecessarily put yourself in danger, potential harm, and then to realize that you will actually be fine, and this is fine. Life can go on.
Definitely. And it always also reminds me of almost like the love stories, and there's always babies born, and love stories in hard times, and it does give you hope, and it's beautiful. It's the way.
Phil asked me yesterday, actually. He said, could you imagine if this was in World War I or World War II, and you only got a letter from me every 3 months?
Yeah.
So it's to realize that human beings are resilient, and we are capable of absolute survival. That it could be much worse. It could always be much worse. But life is beautiful. Life's worth celebrating, and we're very lucky to live in the time that we are in. I mean, even 10 years ago, we didn't have the technology that we have now, which is making this so much easier on all of us.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like I'm jumping around. What is the one thing that you do not miss from before lockdown?
Sure. Traffic.
I know, me too.
I think the few times that I've been out to the doctor and to go get essentials, just the quietness of the roads is so amazing and so peaceful, and it's really it's really something that I might actually miss from lockdown.
And it's all over. Feels like you have so much more time, because you don't have to factor in travel time, and it really makes a huge difference.
I mean, I have a standing appointment with a colleague that I see every couple of weeks in Joburg, and we've obviously taken that online now, and I was like, I'm not driving to Joburg after this. Like, why? What is the reason to spend 300 Rand on petrol and 2.5 hours in traffic? It just it does make sense. So that's been quite cool. Like, I've really enjoyed realizing the boundaries, or unlimited boundaries, of social connection through the internet and through social media, which has been very cool. Thanks for pulling back.
So, Babette, as an entrepreneur and a small business owner, and you've got your own factory and you employ 6 people, how would you like the South African public to better support small local businesses?
I think it's one thing to say, like obviously buy local. I think it's also another thing to let your local suppliers know what you want. If you like, for instance, if you like our shoes, a really big push that we are looking at is to try and get our shoes into more of our big retailers instead of having them buy stuff from overseas. Would be to recommend small brands that, for instance, Woolworths or Spar or one of those could stock, because it's quite hard often for small businesses to find ways into those kind of shops. I think that's a different way for people to support local. I know often it's just easier to go to grab a pair of shoes from Woolies. If if you need a black pair of pumps, as opposed to going online, finding a pair, waiting for a market. So I think if big retailers have this push from consumers, have push from consumers to stock more local stuff, I think that would be amazing. But yeah, any opportunity that you have to support local is always the better option. Sometimes not always easy, and I mean I get why I've been stuck in lockdown trying to buy stuff online, as you mentioned, the baby. And I've been quite frustrated at online stores and how they work, and and so I can't even imagine how other people go about, like, now let's try and buy whatever it is constantly online. And it is a frustration. It is something that as entrepreneurs we need to try and address and make it easier for our consumers. But it's something, as a consumer, let people know how it would be easier for you to buy their products. And if it does mean buying it in stores, to tell those stores, this is what I want to see in my store. I don't know. That's a slightly different angle on just buy local, but that would be
like it. I mean, yeah, and the easier it is to get those products, it just absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about getting the products. Where can we buy your shoes? How can we get hold of them?
Okay, well, you can always check us out online. We are on Facebook and on Instagram. Both our Facebook and our Instagram have links to online stores that are now delivering. Yay! Otherwise, there's contact numbers. You can give us a call or you can WhatsApp us. I mean, you can even WhatsApp Phil. He's sitting in West Africa, for the guys that want to talk about the boots. Yeah, so we are, just reach out. It sounds difficult, but I mean, at the end of the day, we are small businesses that are sitting at home and we would love to just chat to you about our products. If you're interested, we're willing to explain them to you.
I'll put all those links in the blog. So my final question is, and the reason why I reached out to you is because I love your outlook on life and your energy and stuff. So could you share a piece of hope or a piece of advice to other small businesses and entrepreneurs out there?
Now is not a time to be afraid. And if you can weather the storm, if you can dig deep, and you can really don't just try and survive, like try and thrive, try and come up with a plan that fulfills you as a human being, not just fulfills a need. That might sound a little bit cliche in a time of essentials, but that's been my kind of deep thinking of this, is that it's going to end, and then I want to be sitting in a position where my soul is ready to move and rock and get going again. And it's to think about that, to think about the future and start planning that kind of future that you want for your business and for yourself and for your family, to really know what that is and to put that into practice now, during this most difficult time. And if you believe it, it will happen. I truly believe that. I think it is a lot of faith, but nothing's impossible.
Nothing is impossible. Thanks, B. Thanks for chatting to us. And
thanks so much. And thanks to you guys for all your support of local entrepreneurs. You really have been amazing.
Thank you. And hopefully we'll see you live soon. Okay, bye.
Cheers, Neen. Bye. Bye.